Everyone, and welcome to the Curious Calculator. Today we're going to be going over the following problem. Write a polynomial of least degree given the following roots. Now to start this problem, we're going to want to utilize something known as the irrational conjugates theorem. And what that says is that if a polynomial has a root of the following form, a plus the square root of b, then that polynomial is also going to have its irrational conjugate as a root, which would be a minus the square root of b. And now notice here that to get the conjugate, what we want to do is we leave the rational part a alone, and then we negate or flip the sign of the irrational part, the square root of b. Okay, so utilizing that, let's go ahead and find all of the roots of this polynomial. So all roots, we're given 1 minus the square root of 2. So we're also going to have 1 plus the square root of 2. And then we're given the square root of 3. And so that means we're also going to have the negative square root of 3. Awesome. Alright, so now we can write out all the factors of this polynomial. And those are going to be, let's see, x minus 1 minus the square root of 2, x minus, put a parenthesis there, okay, x minus 1 plus the square root of 2, x minus the square root of 3, and x plus the square root of 3. And let's go ahead and notice here why these are the factors. So looking at the first one, for example, if we plug in 1 minus the square root of 2 for x, then we would have 1 minus the square root of 2 minus 1 minus the square root of 2, which will result in a 0. And then for another example, if we look over here at the x minus square root of 3, if we plug in the square root of 3, then we would get the square root of 3 minus the square root of 3, which again will result in 0. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and rewrite this a little bit. I'm going to say x, I want to distribute the negative through here. So it's going to be x minus 1 plus square root of 2, x minus 1. I'm doing the same thing over here with distributing the negative. And so, let's leave these next two alone. Okay, and now I'm going to go ahead and write parentheses right here. Because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to utilize this property that we have that states that when we have a plus b times a minus b, then we get a squared minus b squared. And so if we look up here and we notice that we can say, well, x minus 1 could be like our a, and the square root of 2 could be like our b, and so we would have a plus b times a minus b. And then again over here we can treat the x as a and the square root of 3 as b, and we would have a minus b times a plus b. So that's going to be useful for us. So now we can rewrite this as x minus 1 squared minus the square root of 2 squared times x squared minus the square root of 3 squared. Okay, let's go ahead and continue on here. So this becomes x squared minus 2x plus 1. And then the square root of 2 squared, well, that's just going to be 2. So we'll have minus 2. Then we have x squared. And then again over here with the square root of 3 squared, that's just going to be 3. So we'll have minus 3. And now we can rewrite this. Let's see, x squared minus 2x. Well, plus 1 minus 2 is the same thing as minus 1 times x squared minus 3. And now let's multiply those together. So we're going to get, let's see, x to the fourth minus 3x squared minus 2x to the third plus 6x, and then minus x squared plus 3. And now combining like terms, we'll get a final answer of x to the fourth. Let's see, that's going to be minus 4x squared and minus 2x to the third plus 6x plus 3. And actually, I'm going to rewrite this one more time just so we get those exponents in descending order. And so I'm going to get x to the fourth minus 2x to the third minus 4x squared plus 6x plus 3 for a final answer here. And I just want to end today's video with a little fun fact from philosophy. Did you know that the philosopher and mathematician Pythagoras, the creator of the Pythagorean theorem, had a fear of irrational numbers? So much so that there's a story that goes around that when one of his students proved that the square root of 2 was irrational, he drowned him.